Hello students. Yesterday we have seen the case of oscillation in vertical spring and also in horizontal spring, and there we have seen that what is the time period and on which factor it is dependent on, and also in case of horizontal or vertical spring, uh, which factors that are affecting the simple harmonic oscillations and what are the conditions behind that. So today let's see, if we are using two or more springs, then what will be the oscillations in the case of combinations of them. And simply if we are combining two springs, suppose that for example we are taking first two springs, after that you can generalize this to number of springs. So first of all, here we are going to study about the combination of springs. So in which form we can combine springs, all of the possibilities we will discuss here. So today let's start that. And I think before starting it, the combination of a spring, that is totally clear to you. When we are taking the horizontal oscillations in the spring, then in that case its equation is just like the equation obtained for simple harmonic oscillation and time period. You have seen that that is comes out to in terms of inertia factor. And when we are taking the case of vertical spin, in that case gravity plays an important role. So that's why there the concept of gravity that arises. So I think that all things are clear. Thus today let's start. The combination of spring means how can some oscillations can be performed in case of combination of a spring. So suppose that we are combining the spring in parallel combination. So case first which we have, that is the case of parallel combination. Suppose there are two springs that are combining in parallel way. So simple, what we have to do to combine it in parallel way. Suppose this is a fixed end here, and with this fixed end spring, this is a spring constant K1, and this is a spring second, that is spring constant of K2. So these two springs are now we are seeing that these are just hanging from the same horizontal or simple same fixed end, and now we attach a mass just like this to them. Means a single mass is attached to two springs that are fixed between a same fixed ending or same fixed wall. Then this types of combination is parallel combination. I think that's clear to you. Simply this is the parallel combination, and obviously here also this, as you are seeing that this is as the vertical way. So in this way simply its weight will act in downward direction. Clear? So when we combine these two, first of all let's suppose that we are not attaching any mass to it. Then in that case I've just told you that we are taking the case of simple harmonic oscillations. Actually we are not taking any example of damped or forced here in your syllabus. You have to study only about simple harmonic oscillations, and that's why we are taking only that ideal cases. So for the ideal case we have to take this spring which should be flexible, which should be inelastic, inextensible, and also which should be weightless. So if these springs are weightless, then obviously due to their weight there will be no extension produced in the system, and also it is elastic, flexible, so that why there is no extension in this system. So before attaching any mass there is no extra extension produced in the body, so that's why there will be no oscillation, no restoring force, nothing that can be developed in the system. Clear? So this is the ideal spring. You can say that we have to take that. And after that, if we attach mass of m to them in the parallel way, then what we have to what will be the condition actually? Here obviously gravity is playing a role here, and also due to gravity obviously its weight will act in downward direction, and due to its weight obviously if you suppose that this is a fixed end and this some spring is hanging over it and we are attaching a mass, then due to mass obviously there will be some extension produced in this system. So due to that extension, obviously its elastic property will oppose it, and that will try to turn its equilibrium position, and due to that restoring force, obviously there will be an application of restoring force in the upward direction in opposition of this. So suppose here restoring force F1 that is acting, here restoring force F2 that is acting, and y displacement or extension that is produced in the body due to this weight. Clear? So this is the very basic thing. Again, don't be confused by the two springs. It's the same way as we have studied for one spring. Like if its weight is working here, then obviously due to its weight there will be some extension in this spring, and to that extension this spring will oppose it due to its elastic property, and that's why a restoring force will be developed in the system to keep its in original condition. So that's why it will always try to bring it in equilibrium condition, in original condition. So that is the case of restoring force here. So suppose here F1 restoring force, F2 and Y extension that is produced in the system. Then by the definition, as you know that this restoring force is directly proportional to the displacement, and as the displacement will be in downward direction and force is acting in upward direction, so that's why we take here minus sign. So we can simply say that this F1 is directly proportional to minus of Y. Clear? Y is extension, and also F2 that is directly proportional to minus of Y. Clear? And if you just remove this proportionality sign, then here we can obtain F1 that will be equal to something minus K1Y. Here force constant is K1 we have taken, and F2 that is equal to minus of K2Y. So there are two restoring forces that we have just taken here. So what will be the total restoring force in this case? So as you are seeing that in opposition of this weight there are two restoring forces that are produced. So simply they will be summed out here, because here one means these two are balancing this single weight that is acting here. So it means that if they are balancing it, then definitely its sum will balance it. So what is the total restoring force? That is equal to F. Suppose the total restoring force is capital F. So that will be F1 plus F2. So if you solve this, then we will give this K1 plus K2 into Y. Clear? So I think there is no confusion still. Just let's see it again. We are just combining these two springs in parallel way, and due to this parallel combination now mass is attached to it, then obviously its weight will act in downward direction, and due to its weight there will be some extension Y that is produced in this system, and due to that extension obviously the body will oppose it, and a restoring force will be developed in the body, and that restoring force in spring 1 that is F1 and in spring 2 that is F2, and obviously its value will be directly proportional to the displacement or extension produced in the system. So you can solve it, and if a force constant, suppose that this spring has the force constant K2, and this is spring constant K2 and it has spring constant K1. So that's why its value will be F1 is equal to minus K1Y and F2 is equal to minus K2Y. And finally, as these two forces are balancing this in equilibrium condition, so obviously sum of these two forces will be equal to this. So we can write here total restoring force that will be equal to this. Clear? And now suppose that capital K, that is the spring constant of this parallel combination. So actually we are taking these combinations as a system. So suppose K is the spring constant of the whole system, it is combining in parallel, then we can write the restoring force. Suppose if in place of this combination there will be only one spring that has force constant K and a mass is attached to it, then obviously its weight will be acting in downward direction, and due to that weight some extension will produce in the system, and in opposite of that extension a restoring force will be developed in the system, and that restoring force F will be directly proportional to y, as obviously its direction will be opposite to the displacement direction, so that's why there will be y. And as I just told you here, force constant, spring constant, that is capital K, so its value will be this. This is the same thing as we have obtained for the combination, as this is we have obtained for the system, this is the system, clear. So with the help of these two equations you can compare this. So what we can easily get what is the spring constant for the combination of two springs when they are combining in parallel way. So this K will be equal to K1 plus K2. So if we know the spring constant of parallel combinations of different springs, then we can easily solve it and we can easily calculate what will be the time period of this system, that is there the two springs are combining in parallel way. So we can easily calculate it. So the what is the value of time period here? So as you know that time period, that is given by root 2 pi root m by k, inertia factor and spring factor, and this k is the spring constant of the parallel combination of two springs, and we have calculated its value. As we know already, we are taking two springs and we can easily calculate what will be its or we know already what is its spring constant. So individually if we know it, then after sum we can easily calculate what is the spring constant of the system. So if you put this value here, then we can obtain easily what is the value of time period of the combination of two springs in parallel way. So this is the time period for the two springs that are connected in parallel way. If suppose that here there are number of springs that are connected in parallel way, so in general what we can write here. So as for 2, this is K1 plus K2. For n, this will be K1 plus K2 plus K3, so on, Kn. So this is the spring constant of the combination of n springs that are combining in parallel way. This is the spring constant of first spring, second spring, third spring, and this is nth of nth spring. Sorry guys. And with the help of this value, if you put it here, then we can also calculate what is the time period. So here we are seeing that time period also dependent on the factor in which we are combining the springs. Suppose if we are combining the spring in different way, then this factor will be something different and time period will be somewhat different. So I think the case of parallel combination, that is clear to you. In which form we are combining the spring, that is always affect the time period of the oscillation of that system. So here if you are combining them in parallel way, then obviously the denominator will be greater, and obviously if this will be greater, then time period will be less. So we can say that if we are joining the number of springs in parallel way, then continuously the time period of the system that will decrease. So simple, you can say that parallel combination of springs that decreases the time period of the system for the combination of springs. The second case is that if suppose we are joining these two springs in series way. So this is case second, that is series combination. So if suppose that two springs are connected in series way, like if this is the fixed end and this is one spring, suppose it is of force constant K1, sorry, spring constant K1. This is the second spring of a spring constant K2 and a mass M is attached to it. Clear? Now these two springs are connected connected by end to end. So that's why we can say that they are in series combination, and this series combination, if we are allowed to expand it, or we are allowed to displace it by adding some mass in it, then what will be the case of oscillation in this case, and what will be the time period in this case? Let's see that. So obviously when we attach a mass to it, actually let's again suppose if we are not attaching any mass to this system, only we are just joining these two springs in from end to end, then what will be the case where some extension will be produced in the system or not? So as earlier we have already taken the condition for these springs that are weightless, and also these are flexible, these are inextensible. So why if they are weightless, then obviously there is no force that is acting to extend it. So when there is no mass attached to it, then there will be no extension that is produced in the system of these springs. So in series combination, that time no oscillations will be produced. But when we just attached a mass m on this system, then obviously due to this mass m, its weight will acting in downward direction, and due to this weight there will be some extension that is produced in this system. Clear? And also as they are just joined in series way, then obviously in this spring extension will be somewhat greater than this. So here extension will be different, there it will not be same in this case. So suppose in this spring y1 extension that is produced, in this spring y2 extension that is produced, and also suppose F1 is restoring force in this case and F2 is restoring force in this case. It's very obvious that due to this mass, its weight is acting in downward direction, and due to its weight, obviously somewhat extension that is produced in the system means there is some displacement that is produced in the system. Then due to that displacement, suppose here displacement y1 is taken on and here displacement y2 is taken. Then in due to the displacement, obviously spring will oppose any types of extension or displacement in its position. So that's why a restoring force will be developed in the system. It's the simple phenomena, as I'm just discussing it from the number of days. So I think there is no confusion in that section. So if suppose that here in spring 1 F1 restoring force is developed, and here in spring 2 F2 restoring force that is developed. Clear? So here if F1 is developed, F2 is developed, and here spring constant is K1, spring constant in K2, then we can say that this is F1 that will be dependent on this displacement y1 that is produced in the system. So individually we can calculate what is the value of this restoring force. Obviously this will be directly proportional to the displacement produced in this spring, and in this spring 1 displacement y1 is produced here, and obviously the direction is different, so there will be minus sign, and if you will solve it, then F1 is comes out to be minus of K1 y1. This is equation. Clear? And again this is F2, and in spring 2 as y2 extension is produced, and due to that extension restoring force F2 is developed, and its value will be dependent on this extension y2. So we can solve it. This will be minus K2 y2, as K2 is the spring constant here. So this is equation 2. Now what is the condition for total extension here? So here you are seeing that y1 extension is produced here, y2 extension is produced here. So the total extension, suppose that in whole system y extension is produced totally, then y will be equal to obviously y1 plus y2. I think in this section there is no confusion, guys. Here y1 extension is produced, y2 extension, then in the whole system means in the whole series combination total y1 plus y2 extension is produced, and that's why the value of y is equal to y1 plus y2, and obviously you can solve value of y1 from here, that will be equal to minus of f1 upon k1. So its value will be f1 by k1, and y2 its value will be minus of f2 by k2. Suppose this is equation number 3. Clear? So this is the factor which we have just taken, and one more thing we have to just consider here. Actually, in this system, the same restoring force will be developed, as we are seeing that they are just combined in series way. So obviously in series way, if this force is balancing by this upward directional force, and obviously this upward directional force cannot be different in these two springs, as they both are upward directional force. So this will be same. So here F1 that will be equal to something F2. Suppose that this is F. Sorry guys. So in this equation we can write y is equal to that equal to at place f1 f2, write down f, then this can be taken outside, that will be 1 upon k1 plus 1 upon k2. So this is the total extension that is produced in the system. So I think there is no confusion at all in this, and now we can calculate what is the total restoring force that is developed in the system of series combination of two springs. So that is totally equal to minus of y into 1 upon k1 plus 1 upon k2, or after solving it we can obtain minus of y into k1 k2 divided by k1 plus k2. Clear? And now suppose that if capital K is the spring constant of the combination of springs in series way, this is the individual spring constants of the springs which we are joining in series way, and if this spring is joined in series way, then we can calculate what will be the value of total spring constant in these two so a series combination. So if suppose that capital K that is the spring constant in that way, then obviously if you are seeing the series combination in a system, or suppose that the whole series combination is replaced by only one spring. So if one spring that has a spring constant K, a mass is attached to it, then due to its mass obviously some extensions will be produced, and in opposition of that extension there will be some production of restoring force, and that restoring force will be directly proportional to the displacement produced in the system, and the whole displacement or extension that is produced, that is y. This is the total extension produced in the series combination of springs. So if you are seeing the total restoring force, that will be directly proportional to the minus of y, as the directions are different, and if we will solve this proportionality constant, then here this will be equal to minus of ky, and this is the same equation as we have obtained it for this individual from the combination of individuals. So you can compare these two and we can calculate what is the spring constant of the series combination of two springs. So its value is obtained, that is equal to K is equal to 1 upon K1 plus 1 upon K2, or we can write K is equal to K1 K2 if K1 plus K2. So this is the spring constant for the combination of two springs that are connected in series way, and now if we have calculated spring constant, then we can easily calculate what is the value of time period for it. So the time period, as you know, that is given by root 2 pi m by k. So if the k is the spring constant for the combination, this is time period for the combination of springs in series way. So put the value of k here. So we can easily calculate what is the value of this this is equal to K1 K2 K1 plus K2. Actually in this situation, if we are seeing that this sum form that is in upward direction, in the numerator, so that's why we can say that if number of springs that are connected in series way, then its time period will increase. So in the parallel combination, as we have seen that if the springs are connected in parallel way, number of springs we are connecting and we are continuously increasing that number, then time period is decreasing. But here if we increase the number of springs that are connected in series way, then there will be increase in time period of the oscillation. Clearly. So these two factors are affecting, means in which way we are connecting the springs. Now suppose if we have to take the rapid oscillation, then which types of oscillations can be perfect there. So as you know that in rapid oscillation, it means that we need less time period, means to complete one oscillation it should take less time. So for that combination, as you know that if we are joining the spring in parallel way, then its time period will decrease, means it means that it will take less time in comparison to if we are combining it in series. It will take less time to complete one oscillation. So oscillations will be more rapid in case of parallel, but oscillations will be less in case of the less rapid in case of series. So their oscillations will be slowly, but in the case of parallel, oscillations will be fast. So you can understand this very easily. You can calculate it, and also for the combinations we can calculate it. So what will be the case of combinations of the spring? For suppose that we are joining and springs in series way. So as for two spring we have seen that K is equal to 1 upon K1 plus K2. So if there are number of springs, then only just extend it. So this is the formula for the combination of n springs that are connected in series way. We can calculate easily with the help of their individual spring constants what is the value of spring constant for the system of combination, and with the help of this equation we can easily calculate what is the time period of that oscillation. So this is the very easy way to calculate this time period or frequency of oscillation. If you have calculated time period, then its reciprocal will be frequency. So this is very easy way to calculate the system of time period and frequency of the system of springs. So if springs are connected in this different way, then there will be different time period, and you can easily calculate with the help of its spring constant that will change with the accordance with the combination. So I think is the things which are discussed here, that is clear to you. How can we understand the combining way of springs, and what is the case of oscillations, what is the time period, what is the frequency, that is all clear to you. How can we calculate it, that is also clear to you. If those two combinations that are clear to you, then let's see one more way to combine the two springs. So this is the case third, when we combine the spring in the way, suppose that there is a piston and this is spring 1, and we are connecting the mass in between these two springs. So then this is one more way to combine the spring, and here this is also, suppose that this is fixed or simple, it is not fixed, and this is in this way. Okay? So this is the case, suppose that here this spring constant is K1, here spring constant is K2. So this case can also be possible. I have told you that whatever the case, we will take that and we will understand what is the case of oscillation in this combination. So if suppose M mass that is attached in between these two springs, then obviously due to this mass there will be some extension or compression that is produced in the system. Then suppose this in this way y extension is produced, actually due to this mass, obviously there will be a force, this will be act in upward direction, and here will be force that is acting downward direction. So here extension will, that will be produced in the that will be equal. So this is, suppose that y extension is produced in these two systems. This is the only different case here. Don't take that this case as a series combination. Here not, this is not the series way, as we are not connecting these two springs in series way. These two springs are separate and they are just combined to a mass m. So this is the common mass that is connected to these two springs, so that will act as a parallel way. So I think there is no confusion regarding to that. Suppose if this spring are also fixed, so you can just take it as a parallel way, as these two ends that are connected to the same mass, and if there is a mass attached to it and we are just displacing this mass by some amount, then why there will be vibrations that will be produced in the system, and due to that displacement, obviously restoring force that will be developed in this system. So here F1 restoring force, here F2 restoring force that will be developed in this system. So this we can easily understand what is the value of F1. So the value of F1 will be directly proportional to the displacement or extension produced in the system in the opposite way. So what is the case, that is minus of y, or if you solve it, then F1 will be comes out to be minus of k1y, and in the same way F2 can be calculated minus of k2y. Clear? As also here y extension is produced, and obviously restoring force that will be dependent on this, and here this value will be okay. So if we are just calculating what is the total restoring force that is developed in this system, so there is the total restoring force that is developed, this is equal to the sum of these two forces. So this is equal to F1 plus F2. So you can solve it, that will be equal to k1 plus k2 into y. So as I told you, just this will act as the parallel way. So I think there is no need to again discuss it. And also if this is the we are just taking it individually and we have adding it, and suppose if this whole system is we having just like a one spring, in that case if a spring constant is capital K, then and y extension is produced in the system, then obviously this force y will be directly proportional to the extensor, and if you will solve this directionality, then here something ky that is obtained. So with the help of these two equations we can compare it, and we can easily calculate what is the value of force constant here. So that will be also obtained as k is equal to k1 plus k2, and the time period that is obtained in this case, that is m by k, or in place of k you can write k1 plus k2. So this is the final expression for the case third, that is a mass m that is attached or that is which is between these two springs. Then in this way spring will also act as a parallel way, as we have connected already in the parallel way and we have understood it. So I think there is no confusion in all these things. How can we join two springs or more springs? How can we understand its oscillation? How can we understand all the conditions? So I think today whatever we have I have just discussed, that is all clear to you guys. I think there is no confusion. So for today let's end the class here. In next classes we will see some next examples on simple harmonic oscillations. So next class let's see that. For today let's end it here. Thank you.